Hello everyone and welcome back to Xbox Nation. My name's Fletcher and Xbox have just dropped another massive sale this week with up to 95% off on some incredible games. We've got everything from AAA hits to indie gems, and some of these discounts are so good they'll have you reaching for your wallet faster than a Red Dead train robbery. Whether you're looking to pad out that ever-growing backlog or find something new to play right now, there really is something here for everyone. But before we dive into the deals, don't forget you can use the code Xbox Nation on my website for an extra 5% off on Xbox gift cards, Game Pass subscriptions, and more. And as always, we're giving a free game away to one lucky subscriber every single week. Just drop a comment below telling me what you're playing, and you're automatically entered into this draw. Congrats to last week's winner, just hit me up on Discord to claim your prize. Alright, with that out of the way, let's jump into the best deals this week. First up, we've got Neon Abyss, down 75%, which brings it to just £3.99. This fast-paced roguelike shooter has you diving into an ever-changing neon dungeon filled with chaotic enemies, crazy power-ups, and non-stop action. What's unique though about Neon Abyss is its synergy system. Every upgrade you find interacts with others, meaning no two runs are ever the same. You could end up with a bullet-spitting pet dragon, or a shotgun that shoots explosive eggs. And the boss fights? Oh well, they're just wild, with each of them themed around modern deities like God of Fast Food or God of Mobile Video Games. The game's art style here is super vibrant, and its dark humour really ties it all together. At just under £4, it's a steal for any fan of roguelikes or bullet hell chaos. Next we have Greedfall for a whopping 75% off. This action RPG drops you into a 17th century fantasy world, teeming with magic, political intrigue, and strange creatures. You will play as Desardet, a diplomat sent to an island filled with magical secrets and conflicting factions. What really makes Greedfall stand out though is its deep role-playing systems. Everything from dialogue choices to faction alliances really impacts your entire game. The combat here blends magic, melee, and gunplay, giving you plenty of options to customize your fighting style. But it's not just about action. Your diplomatic skills are just as important, as you can avoid conflicts through charm and persuasion. If you enjoyed immersive, choice-driven RPGs with rich world building, this one is one not to miss, especially at such a low price. For all of the masochists out there amongst us, the Surge is 80% off, dropping it just down to £2.39, which is an absolute bargain for a game that puts your skills and patience to the test. This sci-fi action RPG is often compared to Dark Souls, but instead of knights and dragons, you're battling it out in a dystopian industrial future where machines have gone haywire. You will play as Warren, a regular guy outfitted with an exosuit after a catastrophic event leaves his workplace in chaos. The combat here, as you can imagine, is all about precision. You can target specific limbs on enemies to chop them off and use the parts for your own upgrades. The more you risk, the bigger the reward, and let's just say the bosses here don't pull any punches. If you love a challenge, this game will have you yelling at your screen in no time and loving every second of it. For the fighting game enthusiast amongst us, Guilty Gear Strive is sitting at 50% off at just £14.99, and that's the lowest price we've seen for this game yet. This is one of the most stylish and polished fighting games on the market today, with stunning anime-inspired visuals, rock-solid combat mechanics, and an incredibly deep roster of unique characters. Whether you're pulling off insane aerial combos with Soul Bad Guy or zoning your opponent with Axel Low, the gameplay here is fast, fluid, and above all, fun. What's even better here though is Strive has an incredibly well-built online mode, with rollback netcode that makes playing with others smooth even across different regions. The game has also been highly praised for its beginner-friendly approach, while still offering some incredible depth for hardcore players. If you've been wanting to dip your toes into the world of competitive fighting games, then this is the perfect time to jump in. Tactical game lovers, Other Side is down 80% at just £4.99. This dark tactical RPG oozes atmosphere with its haunting black and white and red art style, making every single battle feel like something out of a gothic horror novel. In Other Side, you will command a squad of warrior daughters, each birthed from the soul of a great warrior, in turn-based combat where every single move will really count. You may be wondering though, what's the twist to this game? Well, there's a permadeath mechanic, meaning losing a daughter in battle is permanent, but you can sacrifice one to heal or empower another. The game here has a deep and unforgiving strategy layer that really rewards careful planning and positioning, and it really doesn't hold your hand. If you're looking for a challenge and want a game that's as gorgeous as it is grim, then this one is for you. Next, for all the history buffs out there and tactical shooter fans, we have Verdun. This isn't your typical run and gun shooter, it's actually an authentic World War I experience that focuses heavily on teamwork, trench warfare, and strategy. Every single battle here here feels gritty and intense as you navigate barbed wire, artillery strikes, and muddy trenches. The weapons are all period accurate, and you'll find yourself trading fire with bolt-action rifles, early machine guns, and bayonets, which really makes you feel the tension of World War I combat. It has a very hardcore community, and Verdun demands cooperation, so if you've ever been craving a shooter where strategy and realism really take the front seat, then this is the best one out there. It's the perfect time to grab it at a killer price, as it's now down by 75%. If you're looking for some casual, chaotic fun, then From Space is 50% off at just £5.49. This top-down action game is all about taking on waves of goofy yet menacing alien invaders in bright, colourful environments. The best part about it though, it's fully co-op, so you can grab a few friends and dive into this madness together. You'll have access to an arsenal of pretty quirky missions, from flamethrowers to laser guns, and each run can get wild as you mow down hordes of pink aliens. The cartoonish art style here merely makes it unique and approachable for all gamers of all ages, but don't be fooled, the action will really ramp up quickly, and you'll need some solid teamwork to survive the onslaught. If you want something easy to pick up and hard to put down, this will be your go-to for alien blasting fun. This game was originally on Xbox Game Pass, and I know it left only a couple of months ago, and from my own recommendation, it's well worth picking up at this low price point. Alright, now for one of the biggest games on this list. Red Dead Redemption is 67% off, which is a huge deal for such a massive open world epic. Of course, you will play as Arthur Morgan, an outlaw trying to make his way in the dying days of the Wild West. Rockstar really created one of the most detailed, immersive open worlds ever made, from bustling towns to wide open plains. You can of course rob trains, hunt for rare animals, or just sit back and take in the gorgeous sunsets. The narrative here is totally and emotionally gripping, with some of the best character development I've ever seen in a game to date. Whether you're diving into the story or just want to explore, this game offers endless hours of content. At this discount, it's the perfect time to see what all the hype is about if you haven't played this game already. Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition is down a staggering 75%, bringing it just down to £8.74, and this version includes all the DLC. This is currently the lowest price we've seen for this game so far this year, so it's well worth picking up if you haven't experienced it already. This is set in the post-apocalyptic Boston, and this open world RPG lets you build settlements, mod your weapons, and navigate the dangerous wasteland however you see fit. From fighting off raiders and mutants to customizing your own power armor, the freedom in Fallout 4 is really unmatched. And with the Game of the Year edition, you're getting even more content with massive expansions like the incredible Far Harbor and Nuka World. Whether you're new to this series and want to try it out due to the Fallout TV show, or you're a returning Vault Dweller, this price is a steal for the amount of content that you're getting. It's a game that offers hundreds of hours of exploration, questing, and radioactive chaos. Nobody Wants to Die is on sale at 30% off, and this is actually the best discount we've seen for this game since its launch. It's not your typical detective game, it's a very gripping noir adventure set in a dystopian New York City in the year of 2329. You will play as a detective called James Kara, a man who really has seen it all except death, because in this future, death is very rare for the rich who can afford to transfer their consciousness into new bodies. What makes this game stand out though is its deep narrative and moral choices. Kara can reconstruct crime scenes to reveal clues, but as you dig deeper, the lines between right and wrong really blur. The game explores ethical dilemmas that arise when death is no longer a certainty. The story will also pull you in with its dark, thought-provoking world where technology has advanced, but human morality has really eroded. If you love narrative-driven games with a futuristic twist and a heavy dose of noir, then this one is for you. Kingdom Come Deliverance Royale Edition is an absolute steal at 90% off, and it brings it down to a measly £3.49. This is set in medieval Bohemia, and this game really offers an incredibly realistic, historically accurate RPG experience. Forget dragons and magic, this game is all about brutal first-person combat, survival, and political intrigue. You'll have to manage everything from your character's health to their reputation as you navigate a world filled with warring factions and moral choices. Of course, the Royal Edition includes all of the DLC, which adds even more depth and storylines to an already massive game. If you're someone who loves a realistic RPG where your choices really matter, you won't find a better deal than this on the Xbox Store. It's well worth diving into, especially as we're having the second entry arrive early next year. For something a little more relaxing for you all, the last Campfire is now a staggering 90% off and bringing it down to just £1.19. From the creators of No Man's Sky, this heartwarming indie game is all about hope, loss, and finding your way in a mysterious world. You will play as a small lost creature called an Ember, solving environmental puzzles to help other lost souls reach their final destination. The art style here is just beautiful, and the music perfectly complements the emotional story that it's telling. It's a shorter game than you expect, but one that'll stick with you long after you've finished. For less than the price of coffee, it's the perfect game to unwind with on a quiet evening. Next up, we've got Funko Fusion, and believe it or not, this is the first ever discount we've seen for this game at 33% off, bringing it down to just £36.84, and from my own personal experience, it's well worth diving into at that price point. If you're into Funko Pop figures, this game really is a dream come true. It's an action-packed co-op game where you play as Funko versions of your favourite pop culture characters, everything from Jurassic World to Back to the Future and even Hot Fuzz. The game mixes puzzles, exploration and combat, all wrapped up in a family-friendly and colourful package. It's very reminiscent of the LEGO games, so if you've played those before, you know what to expect. It has a very humorous take on big franchises and a massive roster of characters to try out. It's perfect for playing with friends or family and is well worth it for the laughs alone. The game is just fresh off the shelves this year, so it's a great opportunity to snag it at a great discount. If you want to check out my review of this game before picking it up, you can click the card on screen now in the top right hand corner of the screen. It is well worth picking up at this price point as it has a ton of content to sink your teeth into. Ancestor's Legacy is now down 80%, and this real-time strategy game is a must-play for any fan of historical warfare. You will command either a Viking, Anglo-Saxon or Slavic armies in large-scale battles inspired by real events from medieval history. The game actually combines base building, resource management and tactical combat in a beautifully rendered world. You'll of course need to think fast, blending that offense and defense elements as you lead your forces to victory. The attention to historical detail in this game really adds an extra layer of immersion, making it feel like you're commanding real armies in the past. If you're a fan of RTS games, this is a no-brainer at such a low price point. Next up is Godfall Ultimate Edition, now down 65% to just £12.24. This looter shooter takes the fast-paced hack and slash formula and mixes it with beautiful next-generation graphics. I know this game was very mixed on launch, but to be honest, at this low price, it's well worth diving into. You will play as a Valorian knight tasked with saving the world from an apocalyptic event. The combat is all about timing, combos, and upgrading your gear, so every encounter feels like an intense test of skill. This Ultimate Edition of course includes all of the expansion and DLC, adding even more content to an already deep game. Whether you're playing solo or you want to team up with your friends, Godfall offers hours of satisfying combat and loot progression. To be honest, at this price point, you're getting a ton of content for your money. If you're looking for something delightfully weird, then Cult of the Lamb is down by 50% to just £10.49, and this is actually the best price for this game we've seen since its launch. This indie hit combines roguelike dungeon crawling with base building, all wrapped up in a quirky but darkly comedic package. You will play as a lamb saved from sacrifice, and your job is to grow your own cult. The art style is adorable, but definitely don't let that fool you. The gameplay gets intense as you balance between managing your cult followers and battling through randomly generated dungeons. It's a unique blend of management and action with a great sense of humour. If you want a more weird and one-of-a-kind game, then Cult of the Lamb will have you hooked. Now, Aliens Dark Descent is sitting at 60% off, and this one is a tactical treat. It's set in an iconic Aliens universe, and this real-time strategy game puts you in charge of your own squad of colonial marines, battling to survive a xenomorph outbreak. Every single decision you make can mean life or death for your squad, and with permadeath in play, the stakes are always incredibly high. The dark, claustrophobic environments are packed with so much tension, and the xenomorphs are relentless. If you love strategy games with a side of horror and adrenaline-pumping action, then Aliens Dark Descent is just well worth picking up. For more alien blasting, Aliens Fireteam Elite is also down 70%, bringing it just down to £7.49, which is actually the lowest price for this game we've seen yet. This co-op third-person shooter pits you and your friends against waves of xenomorphs across various missions. With a class system, tons of weapons to upgrade, and with different types of enemies, no two missions ever feel the same. It really is a thrilling ride, especially if you're playing with friends and coordinating your strategies. Whether you're a fan of the Aliens franchise or just love a good co-op shooter, this is a game that delivers high-octane action for an absolute bargain price. Now, for all of you wizards and witches out there, Hogwarts Legacy Digital Deluxe Edition is at its lowest price ever, at 70% off and just £22.49. This open world RPG lets you live out your dream of attending Hogwarts. You can of course cast all the spells you want, brew potions, and explore the iconic castle and its surrounding areas, all whilst uncovering a hidden mystery. The game's attention to detail is absolutely insane and still blows me away today, with every corner of this world filled with secrets and lore for Harry Potter fans to enjoy. The digital deluxe edition also comes with some extra unique bonus content like extra outfits and mounts, so you can really make your character your own symbol. If you've ever dreamed of roaming the halls of Hogwarts or grabbing your broomstick and taking your way down to Hogsmeade, this deal is simply magical. Finally, I really wanted to highlight this last game, and we have Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition discounted for the first time ever at 20% off. This really is a cult classic action-adventure game that has you stepping into the shoes of Jade, a photojournalist uncovering a sinister conspiracy. The game blends exploration, puzzle solving, and stealth in a vibrant sci-fi world. It really is a timeless adventure that still holds up today, with a story that's just as gripping now as it was back in the day. If you've never experienced this iconic game, now is the perfect time to dive in and see why it's still beloved after 20 years. I'm really hopeful that we will see the new Beyond Good and Evil come out very soon, but honestly, with Ubisoft's reputation at the moment, I don't see this coming out anytime soon. And there you have it, some of the best deals in this week's Xbox sale. Let me know in the comments below what you're looking to pick up this week, and also let me know what you're currently playing on Xbox so you can win a free game on our next week's video. Whilst here, remember to use my code XboxNation for an extra 5% off any Xbox gift cards and Game Pass subscriptions, as I always want to save you a bit of your money. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more Xbox content every single week. Whilst here, why don't you check out our most recent video covering the top 15 new Xbox and Game Pass games coming this November.